Product analytics is rapidly becoming a hot topic. We're moving into an application and experience-driven digital era where websites are rapidly becoming an antiquated remnant of the past. If you don't really know what product analytics is, check out this earlier video we made in our Tricks of the Trade series. But in short, product analytics is a type of digital analytics where you analyze how users interact with your digital product or service with the intent to optimize the user experience. And while product analytics shares a lot of characteristics of old school web analytics, it is built around a different set of metrics, and thus KPIs may differ as well. There are some metrics that are universal, primarily those around engagement. And in the case of product analytics for online services, there's a lot of overlap with traditional SaaS KPIs. So let's have a look at 10 essential KPIs for product analytics. We'll divide the list up into two categories: acquisition KPIs and retention KPIs. Let's start with acquisition. Percentage new users. This one might seem familiar. It's a key metric in web analytics as well, but there's a difference. In web analytics, percentage of new users is usually calculated based on a cookie, so it's tied to a device and not to a single person or customer. Percentage of new users in product analytics are calculated based on actual users who registered, bought or used your product. Pitted against a total user base, it shows how fast your customer base is growing. Lead velocity rate. The lead velocity rate is the growth percentage of qualified leads month over month. It measures your acquisition pipeline development. That is, how many potential quality leads you're currently working on converting to actual customers. It's one of the best predictors of future revenue and a real-time indicator of future growth. It's calculated by subtracting qualified leads from last month minus the ones from this month divided by last month's qualified leads times 100. Customer acquisition cost. Customer acquisition cost is the amount of money a company spends to get a new customer. It helps measure the return on investment of efforts to your product customer base. Customer acquisition cost is calculated by adding the costs associated with converting prospects into customers, such as marketing, advertising, sales, etc., and dividing that amount by the number of customers acquired. Time to first action. A user can sign up for your service or create an account on your online shop, but until that user makes a purchase or performs any other action that leads to revenue, that user cannot be really considered a customer. Time to first action, or time to first purchase, is the average amount it takes for a converted user to generate revenue. This is an essential KPI that measures effectiveness of your UX and onboarding teams. Now on to retention KPIs. Percentage active users. One of the most basic yet essential metrics for product analytics is the percentage of active users. This can be plotted daily, weekly, or monthly, but more important is the trend line. Lowering activity rate might predict a higher churn. And talking about churn rate, the churn rate is the percentage of your customers that are terminating their subscription, closing their accounts, or remaining inactive for an extended time over a certain time period. The problem with a high churn rate is that it creates an enormous pressure for your acquisition teams. A higher churn means you need an even higher acquisition rate to keep your business healthy and afloat. Lifetime value. Lifetime value estimates how much revenue a customer represents to your business over the life of that relationship. Also called customer lifetime value, CLV or CLTV, this is a critical metric for a company trying to gauge the cost efficiency of acquiring new customers and supporting them over time. Obtaining an accurate estimate of the customer's LTV gives you a much clearer picture of your product's marketing and sales processes and how your brand is translating into long-term revenue. Average high-value actions. A high-value action can be anything that leads to more revenue or drives retention. These are actions a user performs that indicate they're using your product or services in a meaningful way. In a sense, it's a more granular version of the percentage of active users and differentiates what products, features, or services are popular and which are not. Average response and resolution time. Average resolution time is the average time taken by your customer support to solve an issue your customers might have. Your average resolution time will vary depending on the complexity of the customer serve issue and the ratio of available agents. If your average resolution time begins to increase, you'll need to investigate the issue and the underlying problem. Bad user support, of course, can be a killer for your product or service. Expansion recurring revenue rate. It is a rate which indicates the rate at which your company's expansion monthly recurring revenue grows from month to month. It's a portion of your company's monthly recurring revenue attributed to additional revenue generated from existing customers. In simpler terms, it's revenue generated by existing customers through upsells or new offerings. So, here are the 10 essential product analytics KPIs. Hope you enjoyed and learned something, and till the next one.